Yo, what's up, guys? This is Rise, and welcome to another video. I decided to try out this team of Pangoro, Corviknight, and Shadow Typhlosion, which I feel like you don't see too often these days, but it is still as powerful as ever. Incinerate, such a strong fast attack, as we noticed, a little bit awkward with that 5-turn usage, and Blast Burn, like we saw with Charizard just the other day, absolutely insane in terms of its damage. We had a lot of fun with this team. And we start off against the man himself, Caleb Pang, and we catch an amazing lead. This is unlosable, right? Unlosable. Pangoro into Gastrodon, and he swaps in the Marowak. So I go for a Night Slash bait, thinking he's got to respect the close combat. But Caleb, like a savage, calls the bait. And all of a sudden, this gets a little bit more uncomfortable. We take the Rock Slide, but overall, I'm still feeling like I'm in a pretty good spot. I can even throw the Air Cutter here before the next Rock Slide. And if he lets this go, I stay pretty dang healthy for this Gastrodon. So I'm liking the situation that we're in. And I am going to actually throw a Payback here. And, you know, just kind of staying in. Just trying to utilize this energy as best as I can. The Basti absorbing everything here. And gonna take another Payback. No problem. But I wasn't sure what the third mon was, and it's a jelly. And all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, I just kind of reactionarily swap Pangoro here. But now the problem is we've already taken some chip damage, so we're in single surf range. The jelly, we're going to need 2 Night Slashes to land. And if all shields go down, well, a Stone Edge will pretty much one-shot my Typhlosion. So all of a sudden, I'm like, wait, this isn't that comfortable anymore. I'm getting a little bit worried, but I do get both shields here, since he kind of has to shield this Night Slash. And now I go for the catch onto my Corviknight. But Caleb smartly is going to undercharge this Surf to kind of negate my catch here. Gets 2 hexes back, and I only reach an Air Cutter, which isn't really going to do me anything at this point. And now I'm forced to the decision, like, do I come in with Typhlosion knowing he gets to a Surf and then a Stone Edge? I guess. But I come in with Panda instead. And I shield the Panda. I know he has a move on Basti that he's going to combo with, but I'm just hoping at this point I can get him in 3 Incinerates, and maybe he doesn't have the move yet. But unfortunately, he was only 4 Smackdowns away, and I actually made a YouTube short on this because I was like, no, oh my gosh. And it's a good way for me to vent because when this happened live, I was like beside myself and I got a little snippy and I'm like, I can't believe I found a way to throw that. But I hope it came across. Caleb came in to say GG's, but I hope it came across like if I was being snippy, I was mad at myself versus anything Caleb did. That was really well played by him. Anyway, it's a tough loss here. Game 1 is Rise washed. After this game, the world, CNN, Fox News, they were reporting Rise no longer has it, but we're not going to give up. We're going to try and come back from this loss with a vengeance. Pangoro building up energy and takes the Mud Bomb. I throw at double close combat. Maybe I should have like thrown one earlier because that way I can close combat Night Slash. But now I kind of have to shield this because I feel like I have too much energy to let this go right here. I'm going to overfarm. I throw after 4 so he can't CMP me again. This way I have the double Night Slash and he's probably more inclined to let this go. I get the boost. He comes in with Talonflame. I'm going to throw the close combat after 1. It does more damage even when a 1-stage difference than the Night Slash. And now we can line up our Typhlosion here. This is really nice as long as you're not behind too much. I go for the Thunder Punch, and I was expecting him to shield, but he lets it go. So I don't know if he felt like he would live, or maybe he knew he probably wouldn't live, but like felt like that was his only play at this point. So he went for it, and now we're just in a pretty good spot. Jelly's going to overfarm quite a bit. I'm just going to let it go at this point. So that way I can save a shield for Corv. And even though Jelly has quite a bit of energy, it's not really going to matter. Would need to land 2 Shadow Balls, and we still have a shield to hide behind, so ain't gonna happen. And there we go. There we go. Confident win after the devastating loss. We're right back there. We're keeping our mental game strong. And I think I was approaching like the 2900 elo range at this point. Maybe I'm like still in the 2800s right here. So the queue times do start to occur. I don't want to start skipping around and then having to, yeah, like I just did here. It's sensitive. It's sensitive. Here we go. That looks pretty good. Next battle. All right. They've got the Buzz Swole gear on. Shadow Talon. Now, regular Talon, not so bad for Mr. Pangoro, but Shadow, not great, because you're only going to get to 2 moves here. I go for the Night Slash, and then I decide to just hard pivot Typhlosion as I get the shield advantage, and our opponent, I think, waited to avoid a catch, so they actually allow me to get to another one here first, which is pretty beneficial for me, and now, as the Talonflame's at 100 energy, I feel like I can just double shield and then farm down because they're 2 Incinerates away from the next. They're 2 Incinerates away. And look at this. I'm going to get the farm down in 2. They have no shields remaining. And they're out of here. And that's what Typhlosion can do sometimes. That's what Typhlosion can do sometimes. Fire. Yo. Does anyone remember the Hell's Kitchen days with Gordon Ramsay, and that was like the theme song? Dude, they should bring back that show, honestly. Maybe society's a little bit more sensitive these days. Maybe not. Maybe people would love Hell's Kitchen. I don't know. Pangoro into Dusknoir. You know, Dusknoir is one I don't remember ever seeing in the anime. I wonder how Dusknoir sounds as its name. For those that have followed the channel. Okay, so this is interesting, right? He throws on bad timing. He baited me first, and then he goes straight Shadow Punch. So I do something kind of tricky here. I do 2, and then I try to snipe with the Corviknight, and I'm able to get it. So I'm able to bank all that energy, which is pretty nice. In comes Empoleon. I mean, this is not that bad for Corv, but it's not that great either. Just because you get outpaced to the Hydro Cannon. But Payback, as you see, lands, does a lot. The reason I went straight for the Payback, even when there were 2 shields, is I had so much energy banked in my Panda. I feel like it's less likely that they're going to use a shield there. He then catches an Air Cutter on his Talonflame. Really nice catch. I'm going to swap immediately into my Typhlosion. And this really quick pacing of Typhlosion is where it can excel sometimes, because only 2 Incinerates to every Thunder Punch while you're doing a considerable amount of Incinerate damage is really nice. So Typhlosion already got the first shield, and then I think I throw in Chart Attack priority here. So even if they shield to knock me out, which they do with the fly here, I have double close combat banked. And you're going to see me do something here. I am just going to immediately throw close combat because I know the Empoleon has energy. My lose condition is not throwing right away. By simply throwing close combat, which does more damage than the Night Slash here, I can guarantee I win Chart Attack priority on the Empoleon swap in and get the win. So a nice little game there. Typhlosion being very valuable in the back for us. What was I going to say before? Pokemon impressions. I feel like there's 2 I can do. Let me know in the comments before I say it if you know what impressions I feel like I can do. One is, drumroll, Parasect. Parasect. And then the other one, I think I do a decent one, is, it's like a deep voice, is Hariyama. Hariyama! Okay. Sorry. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. That's fun. We led this game, Pangoro, into, for an amazing lead. They swap Quagsire. Don't have an obvious response, so instead I got the shield first with Pangoro, and then I go Corv. This way, my Corv has a shield advantage, although we are behind energy. So maybe it kind of cancels out, but the shield advantage seems more helpful here because usually people aren't going to want to go down 2 protect shields, and allows me to land the Payback. Unfortunately, he gets to another Aqua Tail, and I'm worried that, like, what if it's like a Gastrodon in back or something? I guess even if it was, he would probably come in with that against Panda, so maybe that would have been fine. But I decided just to keep alignment since Panda has such a good matchup against Furret here. Double resist the sucker punches, right? With that Fighting Dark subtyping. Come in Panda. Even if it's a Brick Break, I'm willing to take it here. I know it won't quite one-shot me. I take the Swift. Gonna go for a Night Slash here before they get to another. And Night Slash is going to knock out. In comes Moltres. Oh my gosh. Pangoro just completely core breaking them. Close combat, bang. Swap in Typhlosion, and that's all she wrote, folks. And that's a situation, like, obviously this might be pretty obvious, but that's a situation where baiting is, like, absolutely the only lose con. Because if I close combat, right, either I get the shield and then can swap in and Thunder Punch and win, or I do that damage. That's a situation where, like, baiting, right, would be... There's no real reason to bait in that situation. Next opponent, who's going to be? 2836 was the ELO. Let me know in the comments. What ELO are you sitting at? No judgment here. If you're at literally 2 ELO, not 200, not 2000. If you're at 2 ELO, let me know. Maybe you could work on your move timing, but I'm just happy you're playing the game. That's what it's all about, having fun. Altaria. Now, this is something I identified eventually with the team is an issue because we are essentially triple weak to Altaria. So I gotta try to be fancy here to pull off some shenanigans. I mean, we close combat. In comes more Pekko. Aura Wheel. I think they undercharged that because I would assume Aura Wheel would have just knocked me out, but I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure that was an undercharge. I go for the Payback here. Payback does a considerable amount of damage, honestly. And I know he's on his dark version, right? So even if it's an Aura Wheel, it's double resisted, which I can probably survive, even though it's such a powerful attack. In comes Altaria. I immediately Night Slash to put this in a more manageable range. I swap in Ty, and I'm like, okay, I mean, we're probably cooked here. Altaria's going to get to 2 moves, but I'm going to play it out, you know? You never know. I go for Thunder Punch to force a shield off of him, and he shields. I'm like, okay, maybe he's weak to fire in the back. Maybe he's weak to fire in the back. But I couldn't have possibly imagined what this final mon would be. It's the Shadow Caesar. And maybe the only thing that we could have beaten in this situation with, like, realistically, 2 Incinerates to farm it down. Insane. Altaria is problematic for this team, however. I forget if we see more in this set here or not. Oh, Colossal. Okay. The cool new Colossal. I think we saw one in the last video as well. In comes Gourgeist. Oh, no. I remember how this game goes. Shoot. Okay. First of all, I was slow. I was slow on the swap. And now I'm forced to expend Thunder Punch here. Wait, let me rewind just a sec. He did 5, right? Or did he do 4 and I shielded the next, or and I threw my Thunder Punch unnecessarily? Let's rewind this. 2, 3. Okay, so he's only done 3. He's right at the Shadow Ball. He Seed Bomb baits me. He's still 1 away. What am I doing? Oh my gosh. Literally, what am I doing here? I could have farmed down, taken a Seed Bomb, and had more energy. What a poorly played game this was. Oh my gosh. Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch hitting for some neutral damage. Colossal quite bulky. Gotta fire off the Rock Slide here. I come in with Panda. He swaps Dartrix. I mean, this is an amazing matchup. Amazing matchup. However, Dartrix does double resist the sand attack damage. So similar to Jumpluff, not as comfortable as you would like it to be. Remember, Shadow Jumpluff just straight up beat Corviknight when Shadow Jumpluff was meta. So I'm feeling okay here. But I know it's not over quite yet. And then he freaking catches my air cutter on his Colossal. I am just finding every possible way to throw this game. I make at least some sort of nice decision here where I know that this is just a rock slide based off the energy. I go for a slight undercharge here, but it still KOs anyway. And I go for Night Slash now against Dartrix. Dartrix calls the Night Slash. I go for another one. This will let me swap out. Imagine, had I just close combated, the game would have been over. It would have knocked out. Dartrix has a ton of energy, but it needs to get to double Brave Bird. That was the first Brave Bird. Wins Chart Attack Party on this. Is it already another Brave Bird? It is. 4 times debuffed. And it's a simul KO. Literally. Oh my god. I made like 3 major mistakes in that game to eventually tie. So I had great alignment and I played so bad. And let's give some credit to the opponent. But it's hard, right? I would like, I would like to consider myself a high-level player, if you guys will accept that. So there are times where it's like, you have to give credit where it's due. And if you're on the opposing side, from their perspective, they're probably like, oh my god, I played amazing to tie that game. But from my perspective, it's hard not to be like, I played so dang bad. I can't believe I tied that game. It's a balance. Now, here in this game, we get an amazing lead, and they stayed in. Honestly, they probably should have swapped Steelix. As crazy as that sounds, I think they're better off swapping Steelix than they are staying in that matchup. Because I just stay so healthy that I can preserve my Panda. And now I just come in here. He swaps Wiggles. I throw Close Combat. Guarantee a shield or big damage. Big damage. Typhlosion just going to farm everything down at this point. And yeah, pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward. Even Rise couldn't screw that one up, eh? Even a blind squirrel finds the nut eventually, as they say. Pangoro, Corv, Typhlosion. This was a fun team. This was fun, except when I saw Altaria leads. Then it wasn't fun anymore. Other than Altaria leads, this team was a lot of fun. Oh, looks like we got some cute times here. Oh, look at that. Perfect skip ahead. Oh, okay. This was a crazy game. Buckle your seatbelt. If you're looking away, if you're playing on your phone while this is on the TV, this is the game to watch. This is the game to watch. Close combat coming through. And Sustenance Eater going to shield. Sustenance Eater, by the way, the brother of Nighttime Clasher, who some of you may know. Recently won LAIC, very popular trainer. He's staying in. And then eventually goes Basti to soak up this energy. But what he does in the process here is locks himself. I actually just throw the air cutter simply to stall the switch timer and allow me to swap Pangoro here. I swap in the Panda, and I'm not even going to bother firing off close combat first. I'm just going to shield in exchange for farming up more energy. He goes for the flamethrower. I go for Night Slash here. I'm almost maxed out on energy at this point. Panda. Oh, in comes a Fortress. And I'm going to go straight for the close combat. I get a shield, and then I Night Slash, recognizing I'm not going to reach the next close combat. And then I swap in Typhlosion. And 2 Incinerator's going to get him. I'm pretty confident this is just a Sand Tomb, but at the same time, maybe I should have shielded, because what else am I honestly going to shield? But I decided to let the Sand Tomb go. In comes Marowak. I go for the Blast Burn. He gets me super duper low, where I know one Smackdown will definitely knock me out. So this is going to come down to fast attacks. Oh, God. I decide to do one Karate Chop first. And then Corviknight gets him in 2 sand attacks. Literally coming down to 1 turn in a crazy, crazy game. Crazy, crazy game. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I did it again, so I'm gonna let the GBL rock. Another Furret. Amazing lead. Gastro. Counter swap. I played the same way I have been playing. And look at this. Finally, my Night Slash bait works. I think the previous 2 times, right, I had a Night Slash called and a close combat shielded when they swapped in a Mud Slapper. I decided to shield the Water Pulse because I feel like it's unlikely they're going to bait in this situation, and it'll just help Corviknight secure this matchup more comfortably. Gastrodon does typically win the 0 shields, believe it or not, against Corv. Payback coming through, bang. Doesn't quite knock out, but supplies a beautiful farm down for us. And now it's tempting to, like, save my Corviknight and maybe pivot here, but I decided just to play it safe and stay in. Furret's going to be forced to expend energy here. And I figure I might even live a Swift and get off a Parting Air Cutter. But I don't. I actually do feint to the Swift. Wiggles in the back. And yeah, Tyler Tony going to have a good time there. That is a positive matchup. Should outpace Wiggly to 2 Blast Burns before they get to 2 Swift, even behind on the swap. Yo, why are there still 6 minutes left in this footage? Yo, 28.90. I thought that was it. But it looks like we got some bonus battles for you. Some bonus battles. Who we got next? Been on my way for a while now. I took steps. And I know that you've waited a long time. But don't fret. We got next. Okay. I remember this game. This is brutal. We've seen some nice wins. This will be the game we end on in this video. And if you're a Rise hater, if you're hate watching this video, here you go. This is for you. They catch a close combat on the Altaria. And then this is literally worst case scenario. I go for Thunder Punch hoping it's enough when I did think about going for Blast Burn there. And they literally live on 1 HP. And now I know they're going to combo with the Torterra, but it's like, what do I do? It's not like Thunder Punch is going to do me any good. So I just have to let it happen. Get my Corviknight onto this fella. But this is so bad. This is literally so bad. He still has both shields. Torterra is going to Stone Edge me, which doesn't feel nice. I overfarm a little bit. Throw another Air Cutter. We don't know what's in back. Probably not possible to overcome, but we're going to stay in. In comes Empoleon. And look at this. Like, he has got 2 shields, right? He has to shield. He has to respect it. He doesn't even shield. He literally gave me a free win condition for no reason. Just for no reason other than to flex on me. No reason other than to flex on me. Who is this man? I'm not even going to let this battle finish. Who was this? Who's flexing on me? Darkest David, how could you? Embarrass me in front of the fans, in front of the viewers. We go back to where we were. Throw the Air Cutter. And then I think I swapped at this point, yeah. Through the Night Slash, but it doesn't matter because Emp has like 2 moves. And I top left. And then there was one more game. And I lose to an Altaria. Boo. Altaria Nemesis. But we saw a lot of exciting games in this video. Even recapping it, I'm like too annoyed at some of those last games. But overall, this was a lot of fun. And Pangoro, Typhlosion are so glassy, so at high attack, you would think they wouldn't really function well together. But And this team, they did pretty well, except for obviously like the Altaria was something that was problematic, and just the oppressive nature of certain mud slappers proved to be a problem. But we still went positive with this team, had a couple 4-1 sets. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. If you're new, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. They help out the YouTube algorithm. And all that said, thanks again for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.